In this video, I will talk to you about the testimonies of contactees who reported their visit to other planets. They come across highly advanced civilizations that live in a realm of beauty, awareness, and light. When contact with those civilizations happens, humanity will ascend to a new level of consciousness. Many people believe that life is impossible on other planets due to extreme geoclimatic conditions and the absence of water. But they are wrong. Many planets are inhabited, but life manifests in the fifth dimension, within a band of frequency that escapes the investigations of our three-dimensional instruments. Villaro Huayta, a shaman, spiritual descendant of the Incas, is a contactee who had been brought to Venus aboard a spaceship. This is his testimony about the life on Venus and their solar knowledge. During the long ages of humanity, extraterrestrials have visited the Earth and influenced its development. But modern man, blinded by pride and seduced by science, believes that our planet is the only one where life can exist. The truth is that we are several million years beyond the evolution of our extraterrestrial brothers. They have acquired powers and skills beyond any imagination. They have freed themselves from the slavery of the ego, the inferior personality, and have built civilizations that seems like angelic communities. Everyone is to himself spiritual and medical guidance. Our oldest brothers belong to the great universal white brotherhood. Many have a physical form but less dense and ethereal than ours, and consider the body a temple of the spirit. They have stopped working closely with my people since the fall of the Inca Empire 500 years ago. At that time, moral and spiritual darkness struck the Americas and our world. The supreme leaders were warned that most of the Inca people would soon be decimated and that the survivors would lose all their powers and fall into a long dark period. Since then, the tide of materialism has spread across the continent. Scientists nowadays are the priests of this new religion without God, and they can see beyond matter and form. Thus, they cannot experience the world of spirit and multidimensional reality. Small groups led by greed and inspired by scientific rationalism plundered and devastated the earth. They promoted the increase in horrific weapons and led us to the brink of ruin. During this period of great darkness that is about to end, we have lost all contact with the Interplanetary Alliance to which we belong. But why these ships have returned today? As we are on the eve of a big cosmic transition. As the vibratory rhythm accelerates, they will begin to reveal their existence to an increasing number of people, both physically and spiritually. Their main objective is to awaken sleeping consciences and guide humanity safely to the new world. They will take some of us with them to prepare the seeds for future generations. Departures will be made voluntarily. The auric irradiation of the candidates will be the main selection criterion. The current leaders of humanity have no solar qualities. They say they care for the peace and happiness of their voters, but they are only interested in their careers and do not hesitate to lie or resort to violence. That is why today's system is not working. And that is why the time has come for men to change their ways. But we cannot hope that society and its rulers will change unless we transform ourselves from within. It is how we will enter the new age. The darkness of our world, its wars and pollution reflect the darkness and the physical and spiritual contamination of our individual lives. Our real enemy is inside. When enough of us have won this adversary, the outside world will change. We will no longer need political parties, both left and right. They will become as useless as governments, since every citizen will know how to organize his own life. The present human race, the fifth, was of solar descent. Angels regularly visited our planet. Then a cataclysm caused the continent of Atlantis to sink. When I went to Venus after passing the lower astral plane, I arrived in a sort of port. Many spacecraft were there as deposited on the ocean. Everything was extraordinarily lively and beautiful with a delicious vibration. People appeared young because they had an almost immortal fluid body and physical features like ours. They seemed to be in their 30s wearing white uniforms surrounded by a blue energy field. There are no governments on Venus, no president, no embassies or ministries. There are no separate countries, passport flags or borders. The Venusians have no courts, no monetary system, and no army. There is no government because there is no ego. Where there is ego, karma also follows. And if there is karma, there are cops, judges, and jails. The Venusians have no weapons or protective systems. These things are based on fear, and fear comes from the ego that they have tamed for aeons. For the Venusian religion is to be united with the Father-Mother Spirit and live permanently in the inner temple. They do not have organized religions. Their cult is solar, universal, and cosmic. It is an evolutionary path made of 3 stages. The first is ego mastery. The second stage is to consider marriage as a sacred union with the spirit Father-Mother. On Venus we often connect with the twin soul. The third and final phase is the consecration to holy service and to love without reservation. The Venusians love all their brothers and sisters with equal love. They never judge and make no distinction between beings. They have an almost transparent skin, like that of children, because they never disperse their sexual energy. They know everything intuitively about their mutual love contacts. They know how to unite in a high way accordingly to the sacred spiritual path. If they wish to have a child, they ask the inner mother. They connect with the thought and the child materializes. They do not know about abortion, diseases, and hospitals. There is no pollution because they use only solar energy. When individuals live in harmony and rise spiritually through initiations, they receive the keys, the secrets to building their space vessels. But this technology is granted only to advanced civilizations. Interplanetary travel is sacred. It is only by respecting this sacredness that you can learn to travel. Everyone can cross the universe, but traveling in a uniquely human way is impossible. And if they could, it would be exceedingly dangerous. The Venusians could easily take control of the Earth, but they respect the cosmic law of free will. They have long understood that to effectively dominate matter, they first need to control themselves. In this way, they have obtained the lordship over nature. If they want rain, they can make it fall. If they want sun, they can repel the clouds. In the distant past, their planet vibrated in the third dimension, the unconscious world. The opening of consciousness takes place from the fifth dimension onward, which is like a paradise compared to our living. Every living entity is a sacred temple, and the altar of this temple is the heart. It radiates the fire of love and projects a beautiful inner light. God and the Son, the Christian principle, are one, and we are part of this unity. This new awareness will soon become the heritage of all humanity again. They try to make us understand that we must heal ourselves because we are sick psychologically and spiritually. Our divine consciousness is trapped, a prisoner of our ego. We must free ourselves and accept to evolve. Very soon there will be the advent of a new age. The color of the skin will no longer matter, nor the lineage, tribe, social class, or religion. All races will merge into one, and religions will come together in one synthesis. Solar, universal, but above all Christian. Several contactees around the world report similar experiences on Jupiter, Sirius, or other planets, and describe in detail a reality that to our eyes appears like a paradise. In the fourth and fifth dimensions, individuals choose a path accordingly to their talents. They do not work more than 3 or 4 hours a day, nor have a salary because money doesn't exist. There is also no private property, everything is available to fulfill everyone's needs. Also, the Earth's economic system will evolve towards the free exchange of goods and services through barter. The education begins at the age of 3 years old. It is initially entrusted to grandparents and consists in the exploration of nature. The couple and marriage are based on an union of souls, similar to the encounter with the soul mate. Sexuality doesn't happen by chance, but results from an inner harmony that unites the two souls. The fusion of their lovemaking is similar to the third dimension because the body structure, although fluid, is identical. The fulfillment is far superior and doesn't aim at procreation. It is only the need to compenetrate each other. The formation of a new creator differs enormously from ours because it is of a spiritual nature. The potential parents stand in front of each other to tune perfectly at the soul level and begin to harmonize their chakras in symbiosis, joining the energy in unison and making them rise in a single flow up to the 8th of the third eye. During this process, they will have to continuously focus their thinking in order to create and bring to completion the work of this new life. People living in the fourth dimension are telepathic from birth and communicate exclusively by the force of thought. A fourth dimension human being is able to employ his mind to the fullest. He can use telepathy, telekinesis, levitation, teleportation, clairvoyance, and transformation. The ability to change physical appearance, clothing, color, size, and sex. In fact, it is possible to change the form at will without any technology but using only the four-dimensional mind. It is time to realize that you can change everything in you, in your life, and in your own world. There are a lot of testimonies from contactees all over the world, and they are all very similar in many aspects. They cannot be just products of wild imagination. So we all wait with our eyes on the stars for this passage that will lead this planet to ascend to a higher dimension and the advent of a new age for the humanity of the earth. Thanks for watching, please subscribe and see you in the next videos.